Are you kidding me? You wouldn't need therapy if you didn't have 5 of these lines on your budget. This meme, and I had to comment. It says, it's not that Gen Z doesn't want to work. We're just not tolerating the work culture of older generations accepted. No one should feel like they need to work 80 hours a week for a job that only pays 40. Okay, well, first of all, yes, if you were hired on a job to work 40 hours a week and they're making you work 80 hours a week, yes, there are boundaries that need to be set up with your work there, or you need to find a different position. I'm all for that. I'm totally with that. But then it shows supposedly her budget, okay? It says rent is $1,050. Groceries for one person, groceries, $500. Cat food and litter, $100. Therapy, $400. Gas, $225. Car payment, $1,000. Student loans, $1,900. Honey, this has nothing to do with what you are earning and everything to do with what you are spending. Oh my word. Are you kidding me? You wouldn't need therapy if you didn't have 5 of these lines on your budget. Absolutely ridiculous. First of all, groceries. You do not need to spend more than $100 to $150 a month on groceries per person, even in 2025. The prices are not outrageous. I was watching Columbo from 1973. They had watermelon for 5 cents. Guess what? When I translated it 52 years later, still the same price. Absolutely the same price. It was within a few cents. Prices are not that expensive. You're just eating your organic this, your vegan that, all this specialty this, all the Starbucks and whatever stuff you have to have. Even if you're making your coffee at home and you're buying the Starbucks, the expensive coffee, sorry, you just need to stop. This video is brought to you by our Dining on a Dime cookbook. We have quick and easy recipes your family will love to help you get in and out of the kitchen fast. Please visit us at livingonadime.com. It's 25% off now. Next, cat food and cat litter. Sorry, but get rid of the cat. If you're working 80 hours a week, you don't need to be leaving that cat at home by itself 80 hours a week anyway. I mean, anyway. Therapy, $400. Chickie, you just need to get a grip. You got to get your act together and just get a grip. Now, I understand some people come from abusive homes and their lives were genuinely horrible. I have been to therapy. My husband has been to therapy. It's okay. And I'm all right with that. But you know what? Sometimes you just got to get a grip and move on with life and figure out how you're going to deal with things. Come up with a plan. Come up with a way to get this stuff paid off, and then you won't be so stressed out. The next thing, car gas, I'll give you $2.25 for car gas. That seems like awful high, but I don't know where you live, so I'll give you that. But here's the kicker. $1,000 for car payment? You don't need a car payment at all. 30 years. 35 years. The only car payment I had by myself, or then my husband and I had, was one time he drove off a cliff and we bought a car for $2,500, put it on our credit card at 0% interest. That's the only car payment we've ever had. We had it paid off in 6 months and never paid a dime of interest. You do not need a car payment. My one son just bought 2 cars for $1,000 each. They needed $500 worth of work. Perfectly drivable. They're $6,000 to $7,000 cars. My other son just got a car for $3,000. His brother found it for $1,500 for him. Got it for $3,000. You do not need a car payment at all. It is not a necessity. Our 2000 Toyota Camry we paid $3,000 for, and we've had it for 12 years or something like that now, and it's still going. That is a want and not a need. And don't give me this baloney, well, I'm a single woman, so I don't want my car to break down because then I might be stranded on the road. Listen, first of all, every person has a cell phone now. So it's not like it was 25 years ago when you would get stranded on the road and you had no way to call anybody. I literally, when I was, you guys are going to die, when I was 16 years old, my mom let me drive from Kansas to Colorado. She actually technically let me drive when I was 15 years old from Kansas to Colorado, but this was after that. But thank you, Mom. I was a very independent woman. But my truck broke down. I was sitting on the side of the road, and I literally was on I-70 in the middle of nowhere. So if you haven't driven through Kansas, you don't know the middle of nowhere until you've been in western Kansas. It is the middle of nowhere. Not eastern Kansas, western Kansas. That is the middle of nowhere. Literally, I was sitting on the side of the road waiting for someone to come so that I could call them, so I could call family to come rescue me. Literally, I just waited for strangers to come pick me up because that's what you had to do. So it's not like you don't have a cell phone now that you can call for help if your car breaks down. You can. But the amount of times that our car breaks down versus the amount that we've spent on car payments isn't even close to being worth it. It's not even close to the car payment worth it. We have probably, well, we have, not probably, I know, because I've actually figured it out. We have spent less on all of our cars in 30 years than the average person spends on even one car. Actually, it's closer to a half a car. That's how little we have spent on our vehicles. Get a good vehicle that's like a Toyota or a Honda, a good brand, like a Toyota or a Honda. Yes, you can find them. They don't break down as much. Get a good car for $3,000 and you can keep on trucking. Student loans for $1,900. Okay, this is just sheer stupidity. Now, I'm sorry if you were an 18-year-old and you were signing up for all these things and your parents or your school or whoever convinced you to do these things. I'm really sorry. But for someone who was going into college, you should have known better. If you're smart enough to get into college, or you're smart enough to question, wait a minute, do I want to be signing up for loans for the rest of my life? So stop making excuses that no one taught you. Stop making excuses that they pressured you in here. Okay, if that's what happened, that's fine, but it's on you now, and you need to figure out how you're going to get out of it. And how are you going to get out of it? You're going to get a second job working 80 hours a week, 100 hours a week. Do it. Do it now so that you're not so stressed out for the rest of your life. My chiropractor told me she's going to have student loans until she's 65. This was my chiropractor in Colorado. 65 years old, she's going to have student loans. Even as a chiropractor, that's not worth it. And besides, her business was actually doing very well. She could just be getting it paid off, but she just doesn't want to. That's not okay. Don't have this stress just continually hanging over your head when you don't need to. There's no reason for it. So it's not a matter of a job paying 40 hours and you working 80 hours. First of all, that's a boundaries issue with your job. If they're doing that, you need to go in and say, I've got 40 hours of work. I've got 40 hours that I'm here, but I've got 80 hours worth of work. Which 40 hours would you like me to do today? That's due this week, and that's what I'll focus on. That's what you got to do. If not, go find another job. Sell your car. Get rid of the car payments. Get your groceries cut. You can save $400 on groceries. You can save $1,000 on gas. You can save $400 on therapy. So there's $1,800 right there that you can save on all of those. You could get a roommate. There's another $500, $2,000 right there. You can be slamming on your student loans. Get them done. $2,000 right there. But you just don't want to. That doesn't include in there, you didn't show all the eating out you're doing, the expensive iPhone, the hair, the nails, all of that stuff either. Those things really do add up. Go watch this video next. Visit us at livingonadime.com. We will see you guys next time.